Our full attentions are here in Cheshire this afternoon. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. Whitehaven going to be attacking left to right for our position here in the south stand, I think it is, here at Widnes. It's going to be Widnes to get the game underway from the boot of Jack Owens, and we are underway here in Widnes. The kick-off is deep, very, very deep, and it's going to be, I think Lachlan Hannigan's there been a little bit confused, because there's two lines there on the pitch, and it's going to be the furthest one in has undone Lachlan Hannigan there. There's football markings and rugby league markings, and not too sure there was Lachlan Hannigan, and it means it's a goal line drop out straight from kick-off, Steve.
Yeah, it's a shocking start. Even though there's two lines, Lachlan wasn't stood on one of them, so if he stands on that back line, he can always move forward. So it's a big error, and it's a big test for Whitehaven's defence, certainly early on. So
where we expected Whitehaven to be running the ball forward, it's now Dan Murray who's running the ball forward for the Vikings. He's going to be brought down sort of 38 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Comes across then now to Callum Field in at loose forward this afternoon. Is Field. He's going to be pulled down 23, 24 metres out. Johnson lining way to dummy half. He's going to go back towards the middle. Comes then back across then to Liam Kirk. Kirk's going to be knocked down there. Combination of props, Ross Ainley and Guy Graham. Goes right. Couple of pairs of hands. Goes across to Rodri Lloyd. Former Swinton Lion, of course. Spent time on loan at Whitehaven as well, did Lloyd. But 5 metres out now, less than 5 metres out. Johnston in there at dummy half. Going to come across then to Joe Lyons. Lyons runs it across the line. Out the back then to Gilmore. Comes across. Gebby's come in, rushed in. Ball bounces into the hands of Kieran Dixon. Corkill, Evans and Lachlan Hannigan all involved. It's a 5 and last. Whitehaven have one more tackle to survive. Gilmore's going to look to go for the crossfield kick. Who's he that's going to get there? Curtis Tier, I think, jumps the highest. His rose there has Curtis Tier, and has been able to defuse that. Good defence from Whitehaven.
Yeah, it was, and a great take there from Curtis Tier. It was a good chase. It was an outstanding kick from Gilmore, and it just it's going to be interesting now how Whitehaven, they're very condensed now, so it's going to be one-up stuff. But it's really, really important they get on the front foot, get a good kick, and just gather themselves. And they get a penalty, which is a great result for Whitehaven.
A relieving penalty, because Whitehaven were pinned still behind their own 20. It was only it was going to be the third tackle as Will Evans was wrapped up. So it's going to be a relieving penalty here. Jamie Doran is going to have ball in hand as he's going to look to put it into touch, trying to get as many metres on that as he can. And to be fair to Jamie Doran, he's kicked that 25 metres, and it means Whitehaven are going to start 10 short of halfway. Evans takes a tap, then finds Rio Corkill. Corkill's going to be stopped by the Widnes defence, 4 metres short of halfway. Newton in there at dummy half. Jake Mason doing the talking out the back as Scottish international Guy Graham is going to be the man to take Haven over halfway. Newton, dummy half. Goes into centre field now with King. King out the back to Jamie Doran. Then comes across to Owen McCarran. McCarran looking to come back inside, but stopped by the Widnes defence. 38 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Ross Ainley sticks his head down and just runs forward. Makes 10 metres, does Ainley. Whitehaven going to go left to the short side. Jamie Doran comes across then to McCarran. McCarran looking to come back inside once again. It's going to be the 5 and last, but Whitehaven are only 12 metres out here. Just over 3 minutes gone. Ball in the hands now with Jamie Doran. He's going to look to go across field. Can Dean Gebby get there? Can Will Evans get there? Can Will Evans get there? It's going to be knocked on, I think. We're going to wait and see. Or is it going to come off the Widnes man? It's going to be ruled a knock on. It's going to be by the Widnes man. It's going to be a goal line dropout.
Yeah, that's a great set there now. I think it just goes to show, we spoke about that man Ryan King just linking up the middle unit as well, but Jamie Doran put a fantastic kick in. I think it was Will Evans just on an onside chase there, and just put some real pressure there on Kieran Dixon. So fantastic start for Whitehaven.
Goal line dropout coming from Widnes. It's going to be allowed to bounce, but it's going to take a wicked bounce, as you mentioned, Steve. It's going to bounce differently on this 4G surface. Bounce into the hands of Hannigan and comes across then to Guy Graham. Graham going to be wrapped up 30 metres out. Newton in there at dummy half. Comes across to King, just then finds Ross Ainley just next to him. The former Kells man, of course. 22 out now. Newton comes look to scoot, then finds King. King's just going to look to try and get past the Widnes man, but it takes 3 of them to stop him. 12 out now. Centre field. Newton's going to elect to go left. Is that a little knock on a dummy? God, he's a little knock on there. Just give yourself up, I think, there, James Newton, and referee Kevin Moore, who probably wasn't in the best position to see that. Like, say, Newton would probably give himself up. It's going to be a turnover ball here for Widnes. Scrum down, head and feet, 10 metres out.
Yeah, a little bobble, wasn't it, that? It was interesting, because when I was just watching that right to left side shift, Jamie Doran had set that left attack up, and they certainly had the numbers as well. You know, they're looking at Mason was just looking to chime in that line, but just that knock on from Newton's just stopped that and just took Widnes off the hook a little bit.
So Widnes looking to fetch the ball forward now. They're going to have made it to their own 20 on that first tackle affected by McCarran. Jamie Doran, Tia was involved there as well. There's going to be Tom Nisbet in from the Lee Centurions on his second appearance for Widnes, who's rare now. He's sort of 35 away from his own line, 15 short of halfway, electing to go down the short side. Good tackle in there from Whitehaven. It's going to be Roger Lloyd that's wrapped up, 9 short of halfway. Coming across back into centre field now are this Widnes Vikings side. Out the back to Gilmore, then going to come across then to Sam Wild. Wild's going to be still taken down, still short of halfway at Widnes. This will be the 4th tackle. Johnston then comes back inside. He's going to be Jack Owens now. Callum Field, who's going to be the man taken down. He's made it to the Whitehaven 40, but it is the 5 and last. Johnston coming in at dummy half, going to come to Gilmore. Gilmore's going to put the kick up in the air. Jake Mason's got some work to do to get there. Plenty of pressure put on them, but Joe Edge, but it's a good collection by Mason, and Mason could be away here. Takes 2 Widnes defenders to stop him, but he made 15-20 metres there before being collected, did Mason. Gebby dives in at dummy half, likes a broken defensive line, does the Papua New Guinean, but he's going to be taken down 5 metres short of halfway. Yeah,
it really impressed with this back 3 of Mason, Romeo and Gebby as well. I think it was a fantastic kick pressure there from James Newton, just making sure that Tom Gilmore knew he was there, but a fantastic take, and puts Whitehaven on the front foot.
Curtis T is now the man to fetch it forward for Whitehaven on that left hand edge. He's going to be taken down 32 away from this Widnes line. Newton in a dummy half, comes across to Jamie Doran. Doran across the line. They're now out across to Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan out the back to Will Evans. Bit of space in front of him is the Welsh international, but he's going to be stopped 19 metres out. It is going to be the 5 and less. Gabby's in there at dummy half, comes across then to Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan's going to go across field on that occasion, slightly deeper there, but can Joey Romeo get there? He can't, but it's going to be in the hands of Mike Butt on that side, but he's going to be pulled down short of the 10 metres by McCarran and Curtis Tia.
They've got to be happy with that. Jonty's got to be happy with the first couple of sets that Whitehaven's had. The pinning this Widnes team into both corners, and they just give a real silly penalty away. I think it was Jamie Doran just holding the player, just not letting him play the ball, and that has really let Widnes off the pressure. With the ball, fantastic. Without the ball, they just need to tidy that up a little bit.
And Widnes have been able to kick it the 25 metres and match what Jamie Doran done, but they're going to start these 5 short of halfway. It's going to be Nisbet who takes the tap and gets the ball inside then to Joe Lyons. Widnes just going to make it just over the halfway line on that first tackle. Johnson's going to go down, look to go down the short side, looking to come back inside then with Lyons, but Lyons is going to be wrapped up. So he's 35 away from the Whitehaven line. Johnson then comes into the middle to Gilmore. Gilmore just a pop-up pass across to Dan Murray. Made the early season switch from Halifax to Widnes, did Murray. And he's going to be wrapped up 25 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Johnston comes across to Gilmore, out the back to Owens, comes across to Joe Edge. Edge is going to look to step back inside, gets not going to get away from Evans and then Lachlan Hannigan, but they're within 10 metres here now at Widnes. Dixon inside then to Wild then comes across to Field's then going to be taken down. It is going to be the 5 and last, just in line with the left hand side post, 5 metres out, going to come down this left hand side. Gilmore's going to put the little grubber kick in. Mason then finds Gebby, fantastic pass with Gebby there, and Jake Mason knew he's probably going to be wrapped up and was able to get the pass away to the Papua New Guinean. Newton then scoots from dummy half and then finds Will Evans, and Evans is going to be wrapped up, and Whitehaven just slow it down just ever so slightly, Steve.
Yeah, great defence again there, Jordan, from this Whitehaven team. Just so relaxed was Mason, just picking that ball up, and as you mentioned, he gave it to Gebby. Big shot there from the Widnes defence, and this Widnes crowd are just shouting for that, but he's got up, he's played it really quickly.
Yeah, you can see that the Whitehaven players straight away were shouting for the potential high shot on Joey Romeo, and it just wasn't. It was just a good classic rugby league tackle. As Guy Graham's the man now to fetch it forward. It is going to be 5th and last. Whitehaven short of their own 40, so Jamie Doran kicking from deep here and actually gets it away to Jake Mason, and the fullback's going to get the kick in, trying to get it away from Kieran Dixon, just going to bounce in the field of play, and that's actually not ended up being a bad result for Whitehaven, because it's going to be a turnover ball, and Widnes are going to start it 25 metres away from their own line. Yeah,
I think it's a tactic that Widnes are going to use there now. They've seen Jamie Doran's going to be this Whitehaven's main kicker, so obviously he's got Jake Mason as that second option, but I'd just like to see the nines kicking. Certainly when you're putting a lot of pressure on your main kicker, I think James Newton's got that in his game, and I think maybe he needs to bring that in because of the pressure that Widnes are putting on him.
So Widnes going to look at fetching this ball forward. It goes out to Mike Butt. Butt's going to look to fetch it forward. 32 metres out when he's pulled down. Combination of Tia and Joey Romeo. Nisbet's dived in at dummy half, gone down the blind side. He's made 7 or 8 metres to be fair there as Tom Nisbet before being stopped. Combination Tia involved again, and now Jamie Doran going to scoop once again from dummy half of Widnes, and they've got themselves just over the halfway line. Just over 10 minutes gone here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Still remains Widnes 0, Haven 0. Coming across the middle now are the Vikings. Dan Murray's going to be the man taken down. Couple of metres short of the Whitehaven 40. Now Jack Owens. So no, it's Field once again. Very similar from our position here, looking at Owens and Field, but Field's going to play this 32 out from the Whitehaven line. It is the 5 and last. They're going to put the kick in. Joey Romeo's got some work to do. Mason then decides and takes the call, but I think that was a late call because it means Roger Lloyd's got there, as has the teammate there as well in Tom Nisbet, and Whitehaven are starting 5 metres out.
Yeah, I think that definitely change of tactic there from this Widnes team. They just went straight down the middle, inside balls. Johnson just running out and putting the inside balls and just making these front rowers of this Whitehaven team just repeat efforts, and they're just looking a little bit tired there now. So it's a big set for Whitehaven, this.
Tia plays the ball short of his own 20, comes in the middle to Ryan King. King's trying to push one man off and keeps his legs pumping, does the Italian international. He's pulled down, however, short of his own 30. Newton then looks to scoop from dummy half. Then Nadine Gebby. He's made 12 metres. It's going to be the 5 and last. Newton then finds Jamie Doran. Doran's going to put the kick in towards the corner, realising that Butt's back and Owens has to come back, and he's going to collect that 15 metres away, but goes for the wide play and finds Kieran Dixon. Realises might be space down this side where Gebby has come from, but he's going to be pulled down there. He's Kieran Dixon by Will Evans, but Widnes happy to go from it from play 1.
Yeah, it is that game of chess, isn't it? It's very, very tight. I think both sides. I think the majority of the game's being played in the middle third of this pitch. But it's who cracks first. Who's going to just jump out the line or hang back. At the moment, both sides are defending really, really well.
Johnson then comes across then to Field then across then to Lyons about the back to Gilmore dummies, then looks to step back inside, goes round one, and he's going to be just taken down there. He's Owens. It's Graham just dove at his feet, and Ryan King completed the tackle. Then comes across now to Murray just sticks his head down, runs it forward. Corkill looks to take him down. Combination then of Ainley and Newton. Widnes 12 metres out. Johnson in there at dummy half, comes down this left hand side. Gilmore then comes across, and it's Will Evans with the interception, looking for the Dean Gebby. He can find Gebby should be aware. Then Mason's on his inside. Can Jake Mason go? He shouldn't be stopped at Jake Mason. There's Nisbet who's going to be on the chase, but it's going to be the Italian international in Jake Mason, who Whitehaven have gone the full length, and that is his 6th try of the season for the Whitehaven fullback. Whitehaven go the length. 13 minutes gone here in Widnes 0, Haven 4.
How good was that? That was absolutely outstanding. No matter what game you see over the weekend or over the next couple of weeks, you won't see a better try than that. And how good's Jake Mason? That's the first time I've actually seen him play Jordan, and he's been fantastic with the defensive, catching those kicks. But the pace on him then, it was Will Evans that initially took the ball. Gebby, who's linked up well with him again. We mentioned the back 5 about 5 minutes ago. And then what a turn of pace from Mason then. There was no way they were catching him. They had a good effort. I think it was Nisbet that came across from the Widnes side. But fantastic play, great defence, and the transition from the defence to the attack from this Whitehaven side was absolutely first class.
We'd heard from Jonty Gawley in pre-season about Dean Gebby. He come over, he wasn't fit, he wasn't getting himself fit in training. He's gone into a local gym and really sort of put himself through a little boot camp, or was being put through a little boot camp, and that just showed there that effort to make sure that he was in support with Will Evans, and then just to get that pass away with Mason that's allowed that 4-pointer to go ahead. But it all stems from a fantastic read from Will Evans.
It does, and it stems from this Whitehaven defensive line just holding the line. Nobody's jumping out. It was a great read there from Will Evans. I think he tried to do it in the set before. He's got to be a little bit careful, but obviously he's read that really right. They've obviously watched the video on what the Widnes halfbacks do. He's got the ball, but it's just a transition. It's just the pace from the three of them linking up. That split second, the defending, to 2 or 3 seconds after they've scored under the post. So really fantastic try.
Hannigan comes at it right-footed in place, of course, the usual goal kicker in Jake Carter, but it is 6-0 to the good as Hannigan knocks it over the black dot here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online.
where they've had this Widnes team pinned in their own half, and early in the tackle.
Welcome back here to Widnes. You might have just lost us temporarily. If you have, my apologies. Steve McCormack was just going on, obviously, about the Whitehaven try there, but we have got a stoppage in play here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Rio Corkill just needing some treatment down below us. But like you said, Steve, it's been a real sort of tough start, but you were saying Whitehaven had been the better side so far.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think the only thing they needed to just get a little bit better was the discipline. You know, a couple of early penalties early in the tackle count, and in this weather that will take its toll. But everything else about the game, it's going to be a real testing set for them now. They're pinned in their own 10-metre line on this right hand side. The Widnes defence are really crammed in and really tight, so it's going to be a couple of real tough carries to see what happens here.
So I didn't see that incident because I was dialing back in, but it's been put on report, so I'm wondering if it's a potential, maybe a crusher tackle or just something there on Rio Corkill, because he was just being looked at by the Whitehaven physio, but he's okay to get up and play the ball. Dean Gebby's got some hard yards to do here as Whitehaven are pinned behind their own 10-metre line. Newton in at dummy half now, comes across then to Guy Graham, who's happy to try and get some hard yards here. Here's Graham and keeps his legs pumping, and he's actually made Whitehaven has got to the his own 20-metre mark there. Newton in the dummy half. It's a slow play. The ball's going to go across to Jordan and then cross to Owen McCarran. McCarran then's going to be pulled down short of his own 30. Newton in a dummy half, going to come across to Jordan. Now into the hands then of Ross Ainley. Ainley trying to get his arm free in the tackle there, but he's pulled down. It's the 5 and last. Whitehaven on their own 30 here. It's been some hard going. Jordan was going to kick it right footed. It's going to bounce in front of Mike Butt, but it's going to bounce kindly, and Widnes are going to start this set on their own 30, and Butt's going to be taken down onto his own 40. Widnes a lot deeper into in their own territory when they've started previous sets.
Yeah, and it's a blue wall, isn't it? This Whitehaven away strip there now. It was a good kick there from Jamie Doran and an awful lot of pressure, but it was a good kick, and it's just restricting this Widnes back 5 to 5 or 10 metres. But you know, with it kicking from deep, Widnes are in some good field position now. Yeah, they're on the Whitehaven 40. Johnston into dummy half. Gilmore then just gets it across to, I think that could be Dan Murray. He's going to be the man that's taken down. Johnston in line in way to dummy half. It's Gilmore now. It wasn't Money in that previous tackle, but he comes across to Roger Lloyd, and Lloyd's nearly through there. He's the Welsh international, pulled down 15 metres out. It's going to be the 5 and last, looking to go down that short side, and it's going to be easy on that right hand side corner. Mike Butt had some work to do there just to reach back for that pass. It's slightly overrun it, but it's fantastic work from the swarm of Swinton Lyon. That's going to be his 5th try of the season on that right hand side, and probably going to have an opportunity from the far right hand side to try and level up the scores here, but it's Widnes 4, Haven 6. Yeah, that was a really good methodical set there from this Widnes team. The one thing that Roger Lloyd can do, he can get a one-on-one. That's what he's done all his career there. He's a big man and a small man. He targeted Jamie Doran with a lead run, played the ball really quickly, and then they just stacked that short side up. Whitehaven couldn't get the numbers on there. Great ball from Jack Owens, and a good try for Widnes. So here in Cheshire this afternoon, this is Championship Rugby League, of course, on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. We'll run through some scores from elsewhere in the Championship. At Oddsall, it's Bradford 6, Sheffield 6. Is there an early shock at Dewsbury? Dewsbury at 12-0 to the good. Doncaster at 10-0 up against Batley. Wakefield 6, Swinton 4. And York Knights lead 8-0 against Halifax. Dropping down into League 1, results earlier on. Cornwall 0, Oldham 42. Midlands 40, Newcastle 0. I'm assuming that was an early kick-off. Crusaders and Keighley was slightly delayed. Good underway around about 3:15. That's Crusaders 4, Keighley 6, as the conversions come over, and it's fallen short there from is it Gilmore on that side? It is, and Rochdale lead 10-0 at Spotland.
against Cumbrian neighbours for Whitehaven, of course. Workington, 18 and a half minutes gone here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Widnes 4, Whitehaven 6, and both sides have taken what opportunities they've had, Steve, really well, and it bodes well for what we're seeing out there.
Yeah, it's a good game, isn't it? Good crowd here as well at Widnes, and a good following from Whitehaven as well. And two really evenly matched teams. I think they're both willing to throw the ball about. I think Widnes are a little bit more conservative, just testing this Whitehaven middle unit as they are doing now in this set. But it's a really even game and 2 outstanding tries so far.
Widnes get the ball from the kick-off, and it's going to be Mike Butt, the try scorer, that's taken down short of his own 20, then comes across to Sam Wild taken down centre field, 28 away from his own line. Johnson in at dummy half, comes across then to Gilmore, then comes across to Dan Murray. Murray's trying to spin out of that tackle, maybe try and get his arm free for an offload, but he's wrapped up. Hannigan and Will Evans in there looking to come down the short side. They've spotted an opportunity here of Widnes. It's Joe Edge who going to take Widnes over the halfway line, but he's taken down by Hannigan. Evans involved as well. Johnson to Murray, comes across then to Field. Field's going to be wrapped up by James Newton and Guy Graham. It's the 5 and last, 40 metres out from the Whitehaven line. Gilmore puts a kick up, end over end. Mason's there, but Kieran Dixon's putting some pressure on as he caught Mason high there. 40 yards slightly, but referee Kevin Moore says it's on his shoulder and pinned Mason behind on his own 10 metre line.
Yeah, he took it well there, Mason. I did feel it was a little bit high there from Dixon as well, but the referee saw no problem with that at all. Just looking a little bit tired, as you'd expect from this Whitehaven team now. They've been pinned in their own 20-30 metre line for this last 10 minutes, so test the character. Again, we're looking at the back three. Gebby taking the ball, looking for a quick play of the ball, getting him on the front foot, and then we'll probably look for a Jamie Doran kick.
So Ryan King's going to be the man to fetch it forward. He's spun out of one tackle before being immediately wrapped up once again, but he's got to Whitehaven to 5 short of halfway. It's going to come right on the 5 and last to Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put the kick in. Took a little bit of a nasty bounce, and Owens just has to allow it to settle, which has probably helped Whitehaven there, but then goes back in the middle. Does into the hands of Mike Butt, and Butt's trying to go around the edge there. He gets the pass across then, so I think it'll be Lyons on that side, but he's going to be wrapped up 22 metres away from his own line. He's been in a dummy half. Comes across then to I can't quite tell who it is from here, but it's Widnes, so they've fetched it forward to just over their own 30. Coming across into the middle now, into the hands now with Kieran Dixon helping his middles out just over the 40 metre mark, but keeps his leg pumping, does the winger, and he's pulled down 5 short of halfway, and the Widnes crowd are appreciative of that. Comes across to Field's then going to get it across to Dan Murray. Johnson in at dummy half. Guy Graham tried to put the effort in to slow it down there, but there's a gap in the middle now, left that, and it failed, and it's a last gasp tackle from James Newton on his 250 career appearance. It is now going to be the 5 and last. I thought I missed a 6 again initially, but Johnson's lining way to dummy half, 12 metres out. Gilmore then comes across the Wild, and it's going to be a poor end of play option there from Widnes. It's going to be a turnover ball, but Widnes just showing they are getting more dangerous as this game goes on. It's going to be Hugh Worthington getting ready to come on for this Whitehaven side.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it was a poor end to the set, but if you look at where Whitehaven's playing the ball, it's 2 metres away from their own line there, and really ominous there. I think the last 10 minutes this Widnes team have said to this Whitehaven middle unit, we're coming at you, and when we come at you, we're going to come at you with numbers. And the middle unit's just started to string a few passes now and just causing this Whitehaven front rowers and James Newton few problems. But so far, Whitehaven showed a lot of character to defend those plays.
Hugh Worthington on in the place of Guy Graham. It's going to be Worthington now that fetches that ball forward. He's going to be does well to get it to his just over his own 40. Newton in a dummy half, going to go left into the hands of Doran. Doran then throws a dummy, then throws the offload into a Dean Gebby. Gebby's going to be one-on-one here with I think it's Joe Edge that stepped in at full back there. He now gets the ball away into the hands of Worthington. Worthington, can he then throw the offload into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan? This could be a fantastic team try, and it is a fantastic team try from Whitehaven. All started by Jamie Doran, who threw the offload to Gebby, found Worthington, who then found Hannigan. Fantastic team try for Whitehaven. Whitehaven extend their lead. It's Vikings 4, Haven 10.
Well, I can't do this justice on the radio, Jordan, because that try again there, I thought the first one was brilliant, what Mason got, but that was even better. It started deep in their own half. It was under pressure. You mentioned Jamie Doran there. I thought he was going to kick early on the full tackle, but he put the ball back inside. That man again, Gebby, just using his pace, his footwork. I thought he was going to go all the way, but great work from Jack Owens. But they just kept the ball alive. They kept up in numbers. The support play was fantastic. And what an outstanding play. That was absolutely brilliant.
Steve, you'll have to join us more often because we only see fantastic tries when you join us. Remember when obviously you joined us last at Swinton last year, there's some fantastic tries on that occasion as well, and we're seeing some fantastic action as well here on BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. That is Lachlan Hannigan's just his third try in Whitehaven colours, his third try of the season for the Australian halfback, and we've just got a stoppage here. Dan Harmarsh is now going to be introduced as well. He's already down on the field. I think he's just waiting for a kick and see. Here is Lachlan Hannigan, but Jonty Gall is starting to ring the changes, just trying to probably slow that Widnes middle three down as well.
Yeah, I think they need it. I think we mentioned about the importance of that bench and bringing the front rowers on, but you know, we look at the finish of that set then and that try, which is absolutely fantastic, but I also look at the real tough carries when they're a metre away from the row line that started that set off. They've gone 100 metres there in 5 tackles, and to do that you've got to have somebody putting the hand up and, you know, taking those tough carries when this Widnes team are waiting for them, and they've done that, and then they've had that little sparkle of quality at the end of it, and it's a well-deserved lead for this Whitehaven team.
Lachlan Hannigan is going to look at adding the extras to his own kick, and he does from a very similar position where he converted Jake Mason's try from, and it means now here in Cheshire, Widnes 4, Whitehaven 12, and we've still got a good 55 minutes to go, but Whitehaven on course here to end their hoodoo here in Widnes. 16 defeats on the trot against Widnes, and of course there was a grand final defeat here as well. I won't mention that again, Steve, you're okay.
Oh, just Jordan.
But it's going to be Whitehaven to get Widnes to get the game back underway through Jack Owens. It's going to be Hannigan who collects it, then comes across then to the Castlefordlonian Dan Harmarsh, and he's going to be wrapped up 24 metres out. Newton's going to be in there at dummy half on the first tackle, then comes across to Worthington. Been really impressed with Hugh Worthington, and Jonty Gawley's already said, I spoke to him last after the York game, I want him to sign. Still no confirmation that he has signed a deal until the end of the season, but it's going to be a penalty here for Whitehaven, and just going to be allowed up the field once again, and Whitehaven getting back on the front foot, Steve.
Well, he wasn't going to get tackled, you know, Worthington then, was he? His leg drive was really important, and then that just made another Widnes defender just grab hold of him, just hold him on so he couldn't play the ball really quickly. Jamie Dorman's pumped the ball in over to this left hand side, another 30 metres, and Whitehaven's on the 20 metre line on a great field position.
So they're going to start it 40 metres out from this Widnes line. It's McCarran that takes his first effort forward. He's pulled down a metre short of the Widnes 30. Harmarsh now just going to look at to use his powerful frame there, his Harmarsh, and he's made it to the Widnes 20. Newton in line in weight at dummy half, 20 away from the left hand touchline, coming in the middle now with King then comes across to Worthington, and he just continues to pump his legs, does Hugh Worthington, put down onto his back, less than 10 metres out now to the right hand side of the post. Newton in at dummy half, going to go in across the middle to King spots as an opportunity to try and come back where the play came from, but he's going to be pulled down, only 5 metres out now at Whitehaven. Newton in line in weight at dummy half, comes across then to Jamie Doran then across to Mason going to come across, is it going to be? Yeah, it has to go down because the ball didn't go across to Curtis Tier, but it is going to be the 5 and last. 10 metres out. Newton in there at dummy half. Going to come across to Jamie Doran. Doran puts a little kick through. Can Hannigan get there? It's going to have to be knocked dead by Jock Owens. Whitehaven on the front foot in the last few minutes, and that's a goal line dropout forced. Yeah,
just good composure there from Jamie Doran. I think he's showing his experience there, isn't he? Because, you know, it was Mason that went through the line, or one of the players went through the line, so it could have been obstruction, but Mason played the ball. It was a nice, good dummy half pass for Jamie Doran. He's just dabbed that ball in. I'd like to see Jack Owens try and catch that and bring that ball away rather than just tap it back, but repeat set for Whitehaven.
Goal line dropout. It's going to be collected on the full by Lachlan Hannigan. 5 over halfway, and then finds Dan Harmarsh, who just runs it forward. Does the Londoner, but he's wrapped up 25 away from this Widnes line. An opportunity here for Whitehaven to try and extend their lead. Back-to-back sets. Worthington now calls back to where that had come from. Nearly gets away, does Worthington, but he's going to be stopped 18 metres out. Newton in at dummy half. It's going to come right into the hands of Hannigan. Bounces actually into the hands of Rio Corkill. Corkill's then going to be wrapped up as a Nigerian international. Former St Helens man, of course. Newton in there now, dummy half, comes across to Hannigan. Hannigan then comes across to King. Whitehaven just look a little bit lost here, not too sure of what they want to do. King offers the offload, but elects to keep hold of it himself. 12 metres out, in line with the left-hand side post. Newton in there, going to go left into the hands of Jamie Doran. Then comes across then to McCarran. Can McCarran power his way over from short range? He can't. 2-3 metres out. Newton in there at dummy half on the 5 and last. Comes into the hands of Tia, and I think Whitehaven are going to be caught there. And like you say, there was a couple of times in that set, Steve, that Whitehaven just looked a little bit lost. They didn't know what to do, but it's a turnover ball.
Yeah, you felt as though if they could have just dabbed that ball through there and got another repeat set, then they could have got a real result from that, because this Widnes team, look really tired, and when you're defending double sets as well, or triple sets, it's very difficult to hand out. So Jonty will be disappointed with that. That composure that Jamie Doran showed in that last set, they just lacked in that other one.
So Nisbet looking to fetch it forward, and he's taken over the horizontal there by Curtis Tia, and it's going to be penalty to Widnes. Just waiting to see if anything's coming from this from referee Kevin Moore.
Could get a sin bin here, couldn't he?
He's just going to have a word. Is referee Kevin Moore, and I think what Curtis Tia is saying to referee Kevin Moore is that there's some extenuating circumstances there. I think he's just going to have a conversation. He's pulling now Jamie Doran forward, so I think it's going to be the captain, which means it's probably unlikely to be a sin binning, because Curtis Tia hasn't been pulled as well. But that might be another incident this game that goes on report. We'll soon wait and see. It's not going to go on report because he hasn't called Jack Owens out as well. It's just going to be a penalty, and you can hear what the home crowd think about that.
Yeah,
Steve.
I think he's certainly this day and age as well, with what happens, with above the horizontal. I think he's quite lucky. There. I think a sin bin, I don't think anybody would have argued, but it's on report, and they've still got 13 men on.
They certainly do. Widnes have got it to 10 short of halfway. Nisbet's going to take the tap here. Then comes across happy to try and play from play one. Widnes, they maybe feel they can get some joy down what is their left hand side, Whitehaven's right hand side edge. And they're going to be pulled far down 5 short of halfway. Sam Brooks out there, of course, the former Whitehaven man. He's took his side to over halfway. Matty Fozzard's out there now as well, so Alan Coleman started doing the changes. Fozzard's in there at dummy half. Johnson, he's still out there, so look to have moved into the loose forward berth. Widnes are going to make themselves over the Whitehaven 30. I think it's through Rodri Lloyd. He's going to be put down onto his back, is Lloyd. Fozzard in there at dummy half. Comes across then to Max Roberts. Now Johnson comes across to Brooks. Brooks is stopped by a combination of 3 Whitehaven defenders, Hindmarsh, Newton and Corkill. 15 out. Fozzard's going to come left into the hands of Gilmore. Gilmore just had to bend slightly. Finds Wild. Wild's going to be pulled down. Evans and Lachlan Hannigan there. It is the 5 and last. Widnes less than 10 metres out. Gilmore just going to put a little nice kick in. It's going to bounce absolutely everywhere, and Jordan Johnson's going to be the benefactor of that. It just took a come off the Whitehaven man. Jake Mason's not happy it's going to be given here. I think he's going to say that it could be and should be offside. Referee Kevin Moore not interested, and just on the half hour mark, the Cumbrian scores against his hometown side. Jordan Johnston cross for his second try of the season. Scores are reduced here at Widnes. It is Vikings 8, Haven 12.
Yeah, it was John Johnson who, as you mentioned, previously he's moved into that 13 position. It's just that extra ball carrier and just linking front and the middle unit and the backs together. But on that occasion, it was Tom Gilmore. I think they were onside, Jordan. I think he's took the ball in there. And the one thing that you do when you have a good kick, you've got to chase, and they had numbers around the ball. It was really difficult. That's the first time this Whitehaven team haven't took the ball. Whether it's been on the floor, this back three. But John Johnson, as all good players do, he just followed the ball up and got a good try for Widnes.
Like you say, the Whitehaven born and bred man, of course, but only played, I think, was he potentially 2 games for Whitehaven when he was part of the old Cumbria Storm Academy, and he's obviously made his career out of the county here at Widnes and across at Hull FC as well. But Gilmore's going to tag on the extra 2 points here. It means that Whitehaven are going to lead by 2, because it's Widnes 10, Haven 12. Nip and tuck once again, Steve.
It is, and take it back 2 or 3 minutes there now, and the Curtis Tia penalty right in the corner. It was a really good kick chase. They'd just come off the back of a repeat set, this Widnes team, so they were defending. They was tired, and then just a needless penalty from Curtis Tia there, just tipping the Widnes player, and that enabled them to kick the ball 30 metres into touch, get to the field position, and then Johnson scored this try. So you can track that back from a lack of discipline again from this Whitehaven team.
So it's going to be Mason with the kick-off. It's going to be collected on the full, and then Widnes looking to come back inside. It's going to be wrapped up there 12-13 metres away from his own line. Fozzard in at dummy half. Comes across then to Brooks. Brooks looks to step inside, trying to get away from Evans and Corkill. It's going to be Worthington gets involved as well, but he's stopped short of his own 30. Dixon's dove in at dummy half, and he's trying to use his speed to get through, but stopped by Newton and Worthington, but they have a hard time in fetching him to the floor. Fozzard in at dummy half, comes across to Johnston. He gets the ball away into the hands of Max Roberts. He's stopped exactly on halfway in centre field as well. Fozzard's going to go right, then finds Lyons. Lyons is going to put the kick in over the top. Mason's got work to do. It's going to stay in the field of play. He's collected that exactly on his own line there. Fantastic kick from Joe Lyons. Fantastic chase from Widnes. Pins Jake Mason behind his own 10-metre line.
Yeah, they're just getting a bit of a foothold in this game, aren't they now, this Widnes team? It's interesting, since Alan Coleman brought your Sam Brooks on and, you know, a couple of changes in that middle side, they're looking a lot fresher. They've got more leg drive, they've got more push, and they're certainly winning the field position now.
So Whitehaven looking to fetch the ball forward, but are pinned at the moment. Tia plays the ball, comes across then to Evans. Evans is only just going to get Whitehaven out of their own 20. Newton going to be lying in wait at dummy half. High Marsh now. Well, no, it's going to come out the back to Gebby. Gebby's trying to find some broken field. He's nearly through there. There's a Papua New Guinean. We've seen what he can do when he has got broken field. It's going to be the 5 and last. Going to go into the hands of Doran. Doran's going to put the kick in, looking to get it deep. Owens has to get a little bit of his shift on. Collects it 15 away from his own line. We've got plenty of green turf in front of them, and Whitehaven's defensive line now in the line, but Widnes still feel they can get something on the edge, and it's eventually Kieran Dixon that's stopped on the 40-metre line, 10 short of halfway.
Yeah, using Kieran Dixon a lot, aren't they? This Widnes team there now is obviously a powerful dummy half runner, but he's coming to the middle as well, using his footwork to get a quick play of the ball. And this Widnes team again are getting some good field position, and they're just marching the Whitehaven team down a little bit too easy.
Sam Brooks makes plenty of metres there. You can hear yet again the Widnes crowd are appreciative of that. He's playing this 32 short of the Whitehaven line. Fozzard comes in the middle to Gilmore. Gilmore then out at the back. Dummies there, does Lyons, and then finds Wild. Widnes are going to take the lead for the first time this afternoon. Fantastic team try from the Widnes Vikings. It's back to back, and the game's completely changed in just 4 second half minutes here at the DCBL Stadium. Widnes are going to hit the front. It's going to be Widnes 14, Whitehaven 12.
Yeah, we felt it coming a little bit, didn't we? You know, we mentioned about the ease in this Widnes pack just marching this Whitehaven team downfield, and on that occasion it's the first time that Joe Lyons, the Widnes halfback, has actually run the ball direct to the line. He's just been passing the ball in previous sets, but on that occasion he spotted some of the Whitehaven defenders very, very tired. Little left foot step, took the ball right to the line, and Sam Wild, who was just on his left hand side, just marched over. Little hint of a potential forward pass, I thought. But a fair try, and probably just a fair reflection of what Widnes have done over this last 5 or 10 minutes.
So, as we mentioned, the Vikings hit the front for the first time this afternoon. Wild with his 5th try of the season for the second rower. And it's going to be Gilmore with an opportunity here to just, yet again, just extend the Widnes lead. Like I say, they've picked up for the first time this afternoon. He'll come at it right-footed. Will Gilmore, and you said, Steve, it had been coming, they just got on the front foot. Whitehaven had rung the changes and it just sort of levelled it slightly, but then, like you say, if you introduce the likes of Brooks, Roberts and Fozzard, they've just got on the front foot in the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes, and they've been rewarded for it.
Yeah, they have, and Jonty did the same, didn't he? He's brought his bench on, and they've just not quite had that impetus and that impact that the experienced Widnes big fellas have had. You know, we mentioned Sam Brooks and a few of the other players in there, and Jordan Johnson going to 13 has just created that extra threat when they've got the ball. And for Whitehaven, they've just not quite had that. I've been really impressed with Worthington since he's come on, but I don't think they've quite had that direct and that go forward since the impetus of the subs.
And the world will be from Jonty Gawley now. Do not concede another before half time. Kick-off is going to come from Mears and collected on the full. I think it'll be Roberts that's fetching it forward, and met there by Worthington, Hindmarsh and Newton, and trying to push him back there. The Whitehaven trio. In fact, it was Newton that was involved, and Hindmarsh involved now once again on the second tackle. McCannon and Worthington as well. Fozzard in there at dummy half, comes across then to Johnson. The centre an opportunity here, Widnes, they're happy to throw the ball, and Dixon's early stepped inside. He's had a really good last 10 minutes as Kieran Dixon, getting more and more involved, and realises an opportunity on this short side, but Ryan King's got that there, and it's going to be actually ruled a forward pass, so that's just going to slow down Widnes' momentum, and gives Whitehaven an opportunity going into the final few minutes of the half, just to maybe try and get scores back level, but also just slow down this momentum that Widnes were building up.
Yeah, that's a big penalty, that, from Whitehaven. A big forward pass there from Whitehaven. It's that man Kieran Dixon again, just coming off his wing. You know, he's four in and just looking for a quick play of the ball. But it was good defence there from Will Evans. They reloaded really quickly, but it's a forward pass. And as you mentioned, it's a really good opportunity this for Whitehaven now to get some more points on the board. So Whitehaven are going to play this 40 metres out from the Widnes line in centre field, going to go left into the hands of Doran, out the back to Mason. Mason's going to find the gap on the left hand side. Fantastic pace from Jake Mason. He's in for his second of the afternoon. It's his 7th of the season. We see it so often now. Tries coming from scrum players on play one. Whitehaven are the benefactors there. Scores a level, 16 points apiece. Jordan, I haven't seen this team before. I've not seen Jake Mason before, and you know, I'll bow to a lot of other people's experience and watching him, but there's certain players, when they get their hands on the ball and when you look at them for the first time, you see the quality, you know, with the ball and without the ball. And whenever he's got the ball, he's been sensational. You know, straight away when that was a try out of absolutely nothing. You know, he's got the ball from a scrum, you know, just a simple pass, and all he's done is gone from right to left, showed some pace, you know, fantastic, you know, and bear in mind this Widnes backline's got some pace as well, and they got nowhere near him. They got absolutely nowhere near him. So wherever Whitehaven's got Jake Mason from, they've done a great job.
Was at Halifax last year, was Jake Mason. They fetched him over, did the Australian, played in the Italian international team alongside Ryan King, but was sort of in and out of the Widnes Halifax team last year, and he's been a fantastic pickup for Whitehaven. Number 2 on his back, but in just his 10th Whitehaven appearance of the season. It's his 7th try back-to-back from these games for this, and he's been a real quality pickup out the back there for Jonty Gawley's side, as Hannigan, with around about 35 seconds of the hoot is due to go, is going to come at this right-footed. Adds on the extras once again, does Hannigan, so Whitehaven, unless anything goes stupidly wrong in the last sort of 30-odd seconds of this first half, are going to take into a slender lead into the half-time break, Steve.
Yeah, and they've scored 3 tries out of absolutely nothing. You know, Whitehaven, they've had 2 tries which were sensational from their own, you know, 5-10 metre line, and then they just scored one again where they was under the pump. You know, Widnes had got in front for the first time in the game, and then Mason's just took that ball. So, you know, this Whitehaven team is showing some immense character.
Fantastic work there from Hannigan just to get to Jack Owens' kick-off. And the hooter sounds here in Widnes. It is half-time here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online, and what a half it's been. 6 tries scored, evenly shared. It's just the one conversion of Lachlan Hannigan. He's 3 from 3, where Tom Gilmore is 2 from 3 here in Widnes. But Championship Rugby League once again showing us what an entertaining competition it can be. Curtis Stern, Owen McCarran that fell off the tackle. Sam Brooks is then going to be the man to try and fetch Widnes forward, centre field, 25 metres away from his own line. Fozzard still in there at dummy half, goes left to Gilmore. It's going to be then Sam Wilder looks to come back inside, but stopped and hitting the floor by a combination of Will Evans, Lachlan Hannigan, with Worthington also involved as well. Fozzard spins away from Will Evans, and then he's going to be met by Corkill and Newton. Good work there from Fozzard, who's got Widnes over the halfway line. Johnson dives in at dummy half on this occasion and finds Brooks. Brooks just gets his head down and runs as the former Whitehaven man, and he's going to be put down onto his back. So good first set here from Widnes, because they're 25 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Fozzard's going to come right into the hands of Lyons. Lyons is going to put a kick up left footed. Mason's going to try and get there. He's not. He's going to allow it to be knocked backwards. It's going to be actually ruled to have been knocked on. I think that's unlucky there by Tom Nisbet. I did feel that went back, but it's going to be a turnover ball.
Yeah, no, I agree. Bit of a worrying start, I thought, there from Whitehaven. Just kicked the ball far too easy there. There were no kick pressure. The one thing that they did really, really well, I think it was Newton in the first half, just put, you know, it was Joe Lyons and Tom Gilmore under enormous pressure when they were kicking the ball. on that occasion there was none. So I think Jonty will be looking at doing those little efforts that I've got in this 18-16 scoreline so far.
Hindmarsh is the man to be stopped, still short of his own 20 here. Newton in at dummy half. It's got to be a penalty, however, for Whitehaven. Widnes guilty of just holding on in that tack a little bit too long once Hindmarsh was ready to play the ball, and it's going to be an opportunity for Jamie Dordan to find touch. And Jack Owens is coming down and just having a little bit of a conversation with Alan Coleman. Both of them, as you mentioned, looking slightly frustrated, Steve.
Yeah, and rightly so as well. I think Alan would have expected this. He knows Jonty. He's got a lot of connections up in Cumbria, with the community game as well. So he knew what they were getting. But you've got to give credit to Whitehaven the way they've started this game.
Tia plays the ball just short of halfway. Newton then finds Owen McCadden. McCadden stopped there by Lloyd Butt, and there's another Widnes man involved there as well. Jordan Johnston plays it 5 over halfway, comes down the short side to Jamie Dordan. Dordan looking to get over the top of Mason. If Mason can use his speed, he should get there. This could be a hat-trick for Jake Mason. It's going to be a hat-trick for Jake Mason. Obviously a player that's come directly from the training field. Mason's in for his hat-trick. Whitehaven extend their lead. Widnes 16, Haven 22.
It was definitely from the training field. It was tackle 3. So they've got this field position now from the penalty. A bit debatable, that penalty for. I know you can see the coaching staff from Widnes just having a go at the officials, but it was tackle 3. Mason had just given a little bit of a signal to Jamie Dordan, a little banana kick as we used to call them, little side-footed kick off the cuff. Great bit of intuition there as well, and he's picked up his hat-trick.
Fantastic, as you mentioned. Obviously, come right from the training ground. You wax lyrical about Jake Mason off air as well, Steve. You said this is the first time he's seen him, but that's a combination of his spine working really well there. It just needs to be that little signal, or maybe just that one word. You know what's coming, and Whitehaven able to take full advantage.
I think it's a really brave play as well. A lot of coaches now, and I'll put my hands up as well. It's possession based. Very methodical. Where people's going to be running. That was tackle 3. That. You've got Jamie Dordan and the execution of the kick as well. We talk about Mason, scoring that, but the execution of that kick was sensational, and what a fantastic start to the second half. And
he was sort of caught behind Johnston initially as well, was Mason, and still had that power once he'd got round Johnston to get there, collect the ball and put it down. Hannigan comes at this right-footed. He's 4 from 4. He's Lachlan Hannigan. You can hear the cheers of the Whitehaven fans who are far down in this south stand backing Jonty goalies Whitehaven. It's Widnes 16, Haven 24. Is the 16 consecutive games against Widnes here at the DCBL Stadium coming to an end this afternoon.
You keep saying that, don't you?
I know. I'm going to curse them. I'm sure I am.
I know, but it all bodes well, doesn't it? The way they're starting. I think the key is just making sure that they complete these sets now and get to this kick and kick deep, but just stop giving these penalties away. They've not had the opportunity to do that so far, and if they do that, like I said in that first half, I thought it could have been a bit even more comfortable than it is now.
So Hindmarsh is the man to fetch it forward from the kick-off. His leg is lifted. He's going to try and get a play of the ball. They're slowing him down once again, a Widnes, and Hannigan's jumped in a dummy half to find Rio Corkill. Corkill's going to be taken down, put down onto his front. Fozzard and Roberts involved. Newton in there at dummy half now. King out the back to Jamie Dordan, over the top then to Curtis Tia, trying to find gaps of Whitehaven, and almost did there. Tia's pulled down 8 metres short of halfway, only 2 or 3 metres in from this near touchline. Finds Owen McCadden now. McCadden's going to take Whitehaven over the halfway line. Still a couple of tackles at least left in this set. Newton in a dummy half, goes across to Jamie Dordan, now finds King then out the back to Hannigan. Hannigan's then going to go out the back to Mason then finds Evans is going to try and hand off, and does hand off Tom Gilmore, but is he going to be pushing to touch? He is there, Will Evans, and the Widnes defence just back in there on top. Can see why Whitehaven were going to that side. They did have a man overlap, but Evans just decided to keep hold of the ball himself, but it's been fumbled over the touchline. 5.5 minutes gone in the second half. Vikings 16, Haven 24.
Yeah, I thought that was a disappointing end to the set there from Whitehaven. It was very overs play, going towards a touchline, towards a touchline, towards a touchline. The one thing that the Whitehaven team did in that first half, they cut inside, and just looking at some of these Widnes players inside shoulders when they were getting really tired, and that occasion Will Evans just went on an overs play, and it was far too easy for this Widnes defence to get him into touch.
So Widnes are going to fetch the ball forward now following that turn over ball. It's ball is played. Fozzard's in there at dummy half. Kieran Dixon, who they utilised a lot in that second half of that first half, if that makes any sort of sense. But he's been pulled down sort of 6 metres short of halfway, coming right into the hands of Lyons. Lyons and out the back to Owens. Just need to stand to Whitehaven. Good work there from Jamie Doran. Going to be taken down there, but it's going to be lining weight at dummy half. 35 metres out from the Whitehaven line. Comes across then to Johnston in the middle. Out then to Gilmore. Gilmore then finds Fozzard. Fozzard then gets it into the hands of Joe Edge. Edge looks to come back inside, but stopped by the Whitehaven defence. But they're only 20 metres out now from this Whitehaven line of Widnes. Fozzard comes across then to Roberts. Roberts is just going to run it forward. Hindmarsh there in the tackle. Hannigan helps him in there as well. So it's still a couple of tackles left in this set. Yes, there is. Fozzard comes across to Gilmore. Gilmore's going to put the kick towards the corner. Can Tia rise the highest he can? Is he going to be pinned in the air, or is he going to be tackled safely? He's tackled safely, but behind the Whitehaven goal line, the Whitehaven try line, and it's going to be a goal line dropout forced by Widnes. A good response from them, Steve.
Yeah, it's a big test this now. It's really the heat down on that ground is the sun's burning up there now. So any repeat sets now, it was a good kick, a really good take again there from Tia. But it's an opportunity there, and generally when they get a repeat set in the season they score Widnes. Certainly from the times I've watched them. So big test for this Whitehaven defence.
It's bounced the goal line drop out in between Butt and Lyons, collected it on the halfway line, and Roberts is going to get away from Hindmarsh. He's not getting away from Ryan King, however. A few shouts for the high tackle from those on the field, but referee Kevin Moore signals on the shoulder, and it's going to be a 6 again. That's the first one we've seen of the afternoon here. And well, it doesn't make too much of a difference. It's just that extra tackle that Whitehaven won't have wanted to give away so early in the set. Gilmore now out the back then to Lyons. Lyons then finds Rodri Lloyd. Lloyd just pushes off Jamie Doran and had to keep hold of him there. Did McCarran and Worthington come in, and Doran got re-involved as well. But Widnes now are only 12 metres out. Fozzard in there, comes across then to Lyons, finds Johnston. Johnston then finds Gilmore. Gilmore's going to take it to the line and get it out wide, but ball, is it going to bounce? Dixon collected on the bounce, but gets his foot on the touchline, and you can see there James Newton on his 250 career appearance, essentially being a cheerleader out there, saying fantastic work boys, forcing the error.
Yeah, he's been great, hasn't he, James Newton there now. We speak about all the star players who score all these tries, but James Newton there, I was watching that the right hand side of the Whitehaven defence. They had 3 players outside the post to 5 Widnes players, 5 on 3 there now. James Newton, as you mentioned there now, was just pushed, and that just enabled the Whitehaven team to get across and force that error.
Newton lining weight at dummy half now as Romeo was taken down, gets it down this short side to Curtis Tia. He's going to play this 26 metres away from his own line. Newton then gets it across to McCarran. Past the Ryan King, absolute, what he described as an old expression, it's a murder ball, because King wasn't expecting that at all. I think Worthington wasn't expecting it, who was the air runner as it would be. Gebby's going to try and scoot from dummy half, but just trying to help his teammates out there, seeing some broken field in front of him. Centre field now, 30 metres away from his own line. He's going to go across to Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put the kick in. It's going to be deep. It's over Owens and Dixon. It's actually a good long kick there, but how good is the Whitehaven chasers? Dixon looks to use his speed now. He's trying to get away from Evans. Steps back inside, but isn't going to get away. Gets the ball across to Joe Edge on the wing, and Edge is going to be taken down 30 metres away from his own line.
Good kick from Hannigan there, wasn't it? It's been Duran what's been kicking the ball for the previous 60 minutes, but it was a great kick there. But this Widnes team are just spreading the ball and looking to put a little bit more air on the passes.
Owens now looks to step back inside. He's nearly through there, but he's going to be taken down. Whitingham's defence just needs to try and hold strong here as Tia slowed it down. Fozzard now is good work from Hugh Worthington. Avoid Fozzard could have been through, but Widnes really on the front foot in this set. Jordan Johnston then comes across to Robert, gets it across to Sam Brooks. Brooks is going to be wrapped up by Hannigan. It is the 5 and last. Widnes are less than 20 metres out here. Roberts is going to go across to Gilmore. Gilmore trying to put a little kick in. Is it going to be collected? Does that come off Mason? Has it come off Roberts? Is it going to be a Whitehaven knock on? I think it is. And Widnes are going to have another opportunity here. I think 10 metres out. We've got a stoppage in play. Just 10 minutes into the second half. Vikings 16, Whitehaven 24. Widnes comes down, heading feet, 10 metres out.
Yeah, they're under the pump here, aren't they? It was that man Tom Gilmore as well. I think he's just pulling the strings a little bit. I think Max Roberts, who's come on for the Widnes team, has made a big impact, an ex-Wigan player. I think he played at Swinton as well under Alan Coleman, but he's made a big effort, and they've got a good opportunity now, this Widnes team. Whitehaven team split 5 and 5 defensive. Let's see what they can do here.
Going to come right hand side from the scrum into the hands now with Tom Nisbet. It's going to be taken down, but they're 5 metres out here. Widnes. Fozzard in a dummy half. going to come across to Lyons, then to Roger Lloyd. Fantastic work from James Newton, right up in the face of Roger Lloyd. Worthington in there as well, and have pushed him back 5, 6, 7 metres. So Widnes starting that now, 16 metres out. Fozzard goes across then to Johnson. Johnson looks to step back inside. Newton involved once again, as is Worthington. High Marsh in there as well to the left hand side of the post. We've heard the Hoyle call. 6 again, not what Whitehaven needed. Comes across then to Owens. To interception, collected there then by Evans, and then Dean Gebby is aware. Can the Papua New Guinean can be stopped? Is it going to be Whitehaven's 5th try of the afternoon? Nisbet's on the chase, Butt's on the chase, but it's Whitehaven's 5th of the afternoon. The Papua New Guinean scores in the right hand side corner. It's just his 2nd try in a Whitehaven shirt. Is the hoodoo about to end? It's Widnes 16, Whitehaven 28.
He's done it again, hasn't he? That man Will Evans again. Carbon copy of the very first try that Whitehaven got. It was an interception. They were outnumbered on that right hand side. This Whitehaven team were outnumbered, but Will Evans got the interception. He didn't fancy going the full length, and I don't blame him when you've got somebody like Gebby at the side of him. And again, you've got Kieran Dixon chasing him, and you know, everybody coming across. You've got Jack Owens trying to get him, but that man Gebby there now just went the full length, and all credit to this Whitehaven team.
Will Evans doesn't do that. That's a Widnes 4-pointer. That's an 8-point swing and minimum, Steve McCormack.
Yeah, 100%. You know, the couple of times there, I think I mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, where they were short on numbers on that right hand side. You know, there were 3 players and to the Widnes 5 or 6 players, but he's shot out, he's read it really well, Will Evans. And that transition again, they've scored 4 fantastic tries from transition where, you know, they've been under the pump, they've been defending their own line, but from that split second, the back 3 or the back 5 have turned this game around for Whitehaven. And
this is a crucial conversion, because if Lachlan Hannigan can get it and remain 100% with the boot, his most difficult of the afternoon so far, it takes Whitehaven into a 3-score lead, which would be absolutely huge.
No pressure then, eh?
Pressure. He's not the regular goal kicker, or he hasn't been this season as Lachlan Hannigan. He has obviously got it in his locker, but we've seen in pre-season he was the goal kicker, but then it was Jake Carter that's taken it in more recent weeks. He's coming at it right-footed. He's 3 metres in from the touchline, 25 metres on the straight. He's got plenty of distance to go from Lachlan Hannigan. Can he nail it? Lachlan Hannigan, he hasn't. It's fallen short, gone behind the right-hand side, the near right-hand post, so it remains a 2-score lead. 54 minutes gone here at the DCBL Stadium. Widnes 16, Whitehaven 28. I mentioned it earlier on, they're searching for their first victory here since June 1997. Widnes have got a lot of work to do to get back into it. Liam Bent now on the field for the first time this afternoon, but the way Widnes have been playing, Steve, with throwing the ball, they're still definitely in this game.
Yeah, I think if any team can get these points, it's Widnes. So Jonty and the Whitehaven team will know that as well. And I think even before that try, that try from Gebby, they were the team in the ascendancy and playing really, really well. So job not done yet.
Certainly isn't, but Whitehaven now fetching it forward. Worthington once again. You can see why Jonty Corley really wants to keep a hold of Hugh Worthington. He plays it 25 away from his own line. McCarran now going to take Whitehaven over their own 30, and he keeps his legs pumping as the Australian second rower. It's going to be Jamie Doran now. He's going to put the kick in. It's going to be played up by Jordan Johnson. This should be a fresh set of 6. Not waved up by referee Kevin Mooey yet, but Rio Corkill now. He turned his back there, Jordan Johnson. I still haven't seen him wave 6 again, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Newton's in there at dummy half. Going to go right then to Jake Mason. Mason looks to step back inside. Does the Haven fullback. 5 and last. I think Whitehaven have been really unlucky there, but exactly on halfway. Gebby's in there, then realise it's the 5 and last. So it's going to be Hannigan that puts the kick in. Owens collects it on the bounce, 18 metres away from his own line. Fantastic check from Lachlan Hannigan. Makes the tackle in conjunction with Rio Corkill, and then Will Evans, and have pinned him 22 metres away from his own line.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a Widnes team now that'll just do that 1-out stuff, then 1-out carries, dummy half work as well, and just trying to get some speed and generate some speed around this ruck. And it's important this Whitehaven team just stay strong, stay as one, like they've done most of this game, and just eliminate some of these threats.
But plays the ball. Nisbet in a dummy half, finds Jordan Johnston. Going to be pulled down just short of exactly actually on halfway. Fozzard's in there. Jack Owens trying to get a roll on once again. He's made 15 metres before being stopped by Rio Corkill and Hannigan, but it is the 5 and last. Widnes are 32 metres out. Gilmore's going to put the high kick up. Mason's looked comfortable under the high ball so far and has to take to the ground to take that, does Jake Mason, but still look comfortable under it. But he's playing this ball 3 metres away from his own line.
Yeah, that's a poor kick. That it's certainly a poor kick and a poor chase. It was far too easy. Good field position, but again that Mason, that player Mason, was just had some good field position. Knew exactly what Owens was going to do and just took the ball without any pressure. So
Joey Romeo's going to be the man to fetch it forward now. The Kiwi spent last season with Alan Coleman at Swinton, of course. But Curtis Tier now with ball in hand. He's going to try and spin out to the tackle, but Widnes defence make sure he's held up there. Worthington now. Good stint from Hugh Worthington, trying to get his arm free in the offload. Probably not needed, Hugh, but keeps hold of it. It's going to be the 5 and last, 32 metres away from their own line. Jamie Dolan's going to put a little kick in over the top. Mason's trying to get there. It's just going to bounce kindly for Mason, but Owens collects, then finds Mike Butt. Butt's then going to try and utilise the space. Fantastic work from Jamie Dolan. Just stepped up there, Mike Butt, and in conjunction with Owen McCarran, fetched him down, but Widnes are 38 away from their own line, 12 short of halfway.
I'm not sure that was the right option there now. They got the try. Spoke about playing off the cuff when Mason and Doran linked for that try early in the second half, but that would have been better going deep in the corner, putting this Widnes team under a lot more pressure. But because they've not done that, Widnes have got some fantastic field position, so not sure that was the right play from Jamie Doran.
James Newton steps out of the line there to try and catch Joe Lyons, but it's McCarran that comes to his rescue. 25 metres out are Widnes away from the Whitehaven line. Johnston now goes out the back then to Gilmore, cross to Owens. Owens looks to step back inside and Hannigan just has to help Will Evans there. Widnes back within 12, edging at dummy half, comes across then to Gilmore. Gilmore goes then left, back to where that fill came from, and balls hit the floor. Fantastic work from Dean Gebby. It's going to be real to be forward from Widnes, and Whitehaven's defence holds strong once again, and it means it's going to be a turnover ball here, 10 metres out. Whitehaven survives, Steve.
Yeah, he's done well there, Gebby, hasn't he? Again, I'm going back to that kick from Jamie Doran. Instead of defending on their own, on Widnes' own goal line, they're defending their own goal line, and Gebby again, as they've done, they've showed some fantastic endeavour on their own goal as this Whitehaven team, just rushing out, not giving this Widnes team much time, and Gebby did again, rushed out, and it's Whitehaven's play the ball.
It's going to be Gebby to fetch it forward from the play of the ball. He's only made a metre or two. Widnes' line speed, trying to slow this Whitehaven side down and slow them, not make as many metres as they can. Joey Romeo now at the backs, just trying to help the forwards out on what is still a warm afternoon out there. Is that being lost? It has been lost. Not what Whitehaven need. And Jake Mason puts his finger up and says, we need 1 set, 1 minute here, boys. But Whitehaven just putting the pressure on themselves here through Joey Romeo.
Had some good numbers in that tackle as well, didn't they? Widnes made it really messy, some good contact. And then it'll be interesting now. I think we'll look at where Jack Owens goes in the attacking line. I think Widnes will go, so they're just adjusting the defensive line, this Whitehaven team.
He's in the middle, then he's gone left. Ball's in the hands now with Gilmore. Then comes across to Joe Edge. Not involved is Owens, but that then being lost. Is it being lost by Joe Edge? And it has then come off the hand of Dean Gebby, but it's going to be real to have been lost. And it's going to be Whitehaven with an opportunity, a good at working defence once again from the Papua New Guinean, forcing the error there from Joe Edge. I'm just double checking. Scrum down, head and feet to Haven. Exactly what Haven needed there as we hit the hour mark here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. It remains Widnes 16, Haven 28. Haven have got 20 minutes to survive here. Well, not survive, but try and get that first victory since 1997. I mentioned it again.
I'll tell you what, how good's this Whitehaven fans, the supporters there now. They're in that top corner there now, and the amount of noise they're making, because they need it. This Whitehaven team need it with the pressure that this Widnes team are putting them under, but they're making some great noise, and fingers crossed they can shout the team to the victory.
You know what this Whitehaven faithful can be like, Steve. They've backed them in numbers at times and backed them very vocally as well, and they continue to do that here in Cheshire this afternoon. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. Newton plays the ball. Mason's in a dummy half, just past the loss to the next man, which is Will Evans. Evans is going to be pulled down 28 metres away from his own line. Then going to be Hugh Worthington. Whitehaven know they just need to try and clear the lines here, and they're just doing simple one-up rugby. Oh, Gebby takes a slip there when he was looking to take that ball in, so it comes across to Ryan King. It's going to be the 5 and last. Whitehaven 5 short of halfway. King's going to get up and slowly play this ball here. Is the Italian international. going to go right into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put the kick in. That's high. I don't think that what was needed, but he's got the chase as Lachlan Hannigan. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. Whitehaven need to jump on this, and it's going to be Sam Wild puts the pressure on there by Dean Gebby. Not the best kick in the world from Lachlan Hannigan, and Whitehaven start this 5 short of Widnes start this 5 short of halfway. It's going to be Dixon that's going to be wrapped up now.
Yeah, and the one thing that's got Whitehaven this lead so far is the kicking game, the long kicking game, and they've not done that. The last 10 minutes were the 28-16 up. They've not done that, and they're just giving this Widnes team a little glimpse of light, and you can't do that against a team like this.
So Murray now to fetch his ball forward. Back out there is Dan Murray playing this 28 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Johnson now fetches it forward, then out the back to Lyons. Lyons frozen shapes the dummy. Ryan King there that keeps Whitehaven from conceding that 4-pointer. 8 metres out. 5 and last. Fozzard in at dummy half. Comes across then to Gilmore. Gilmore just a little neat kick through. It's going to have to be dealt with. Mason just picks it up and throws it behind, and it's a goal line dropout. You said, Steve, you've seen Widnes quite a few times this season, and normally they score from repeat sets. They didn't previously. They'll be wanting to do so here.
Well, they have to do, don't they? They're running out of still bags of time, but they are running out of that, and you've got to give Whitehaven that credit again. Not a great kick, and just offering Widnes this field position. They defended the repeat sets before previously with this Whitehaven team, but they are looking very, very tired now, so real crucial part to this game now.
Goal line drop out. He isn't the best, but he bounced into the hands of Tom Nisbet, and Nisbet's going to be eventually pulled down. Ball has come out. Whitehaven alive to that. They are. Lloyd picks it up and gets away from Jamie Doran, and it's going to be James Newton, Hindmarsh and Doran involved there, but Widnes are going to play this first tackle 12 metres out. Fozzard in there at dummy half. In the middle now then to Liam Bent. Bent's going to be taken down. 5 metres out under the black dot. Is he going to go left or right? He's going to go lefty Fozzard into the hands of Gilmore. Then comes across then to Wild. Wild's just pulled down and metres short of the line. Knocking on the door here are Widnes. Fozzard's going to try and scoot from dummy half as he works his way over. Has Matty Fozzard. The defence jumped. No one held back. And Fozzard's got over on that left hand side. It's his 6th try of the season for the interchange hooker. And Widnes have just reduced the deficit once more. 64 minutes gone here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. Widnes 20, Haven 28.
Yeah, well, it was coming, and you mentioned that man Matty Fozzard there. I think he's been really, really dangerous since he's come onto the field. Johnson did move into the 13, and Fozzard just that extra threat. He's showed and chucked a couple of dummies around that dummy half area. But on that occasion, I thought Whitehaven defended it well. It was Will Evans that got the one-on-one, but one was left on the floor, and that man Matty Fozzard 1 metre from the line and just dove over. But it's certainly been coming, that, Jordan. I think Jonty will be getting that message onto this Whitehaven team. You've got to kick long, you've got to chase hard. You can't be giving this Widnes team ball back over the halfway line.
So Brett Bailey introduced for the first time this afternoon. We've seen that's been a tactic employed in the last few weeks of bringing the youngster on late on and just giving that refresh into the middle of a player who hasn't played any minutes so far this afternoon. Gilmore comes at it right footed and he tags on the extras, so it's down to a 6-point advantage for Whitehaven. It's Widnes 22, Whitehaven 28. It was 22 all here in pre-season. That deficit reduces to give Widnes still hope in this game. There's around about 15 and a half to go as we make it on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online, and you can hear Alan Coleman just barking instructions down below us to try and ensure they can get his side back into it here.
Well, we speak about the spine of a team and the experience of a team when they've got ball in hand. Whitehaven have been great ball in hand. Now's the time for people like James Newton, Jamie Doran, Ryan King to really step up in the game management. Just make sure that composure, they stay composed and just get back to what they were doing well in the early part of the game.
James Newton's just been brought from the field, so that's who Bailey and Guy Graham are out there for. So I think we're going to see Bailey in at loose forward, King to half alongside Lachlan Hannigan. Is that a penalty or is it ripped? It's a penalty. There's not a clean knock on there. Lachlan Hannigan's not happy with that. But it means that Whitehaven have had to do that change around. I think that's probably come a little bit later than I was expecting, because I probably want James Newton out there for the final minutes. But Jonty Gawley's made that choice now. But it means Widnes, who take the penalty and take the tap from Joe Edge, So it means we're going to see King to 6, Jamie Doran to 9. How will that go in the last sort of 13-14 minutes here in Widnes? Joe Edge takes the tap and fetches the ball forward. He's taken down 40 metres away from this Whitehaven line. Fozzard's in there at dummy half, comes across then to Jordan Johnson. Liam Bent is the man then to take it forward. Bailey affects the tackle alongside Guy Graham and drive Bent back 3 or 4 metres. Fozzard's in there at dummy half, comes across then to Lyons. Lyons out the back to Owens, comes across then to Nisbet. Nisbet's then going to be wrapped up. King, Tia and Romeo all involved. Butt in at dummy half, comes across then to Lyons, then to Johnson, happy to shift it right to left to Widnes. Dan Murray's the man then to hit the floor. 22 metres out, centre field. Fozzard's going to go left into the hands of Johnston. Gilmore now looking for the little kick forward. Mason needs to get there. To Dean Gebby and knocks it back. Goal line drop out once again. We've seen Widnes score from the last one. What can they do from this one?
Yeah, the one thing that they won't do is they're not panicking, are they? You know, they're just showing some real signs of maturity, this Widnes team. You know, I'm not sure the sub situation here, and James Newton won't thank me for this. I'd give him 5 minutes and get him back on me. You know, I think he is that influential to this Whitehaven team and to Jonty potentially getting this. But that's my coaching days are gone anyway. But they're under the pump. Widnes have been superb so far in this second half. And it's going to take a massive effort from this Whitehaven team now.
Liam Bent to fetch it forward. Hugh Worthington was trying to get Bent but just missed him, and it was then Bailey and Guy Graham that take Bent down 35 metres out. Dan Money now. All the big hitters are back out there for Widnes. Fozzard still in at dummy half. Gets a scoot there, does Matty Fozzard, and he's made 15 metres, 18 metres. He's within 10 metres now. Good work from the interchange hooker. Johnston dives in at dummy half now, 10 metres out. Going to go and try and go himself there is Jordan Johnson, but he's pulled down 5 metres out, just to the right hand side of the post. Fozzard, right or left, ball's been lost. Penalty, it is going to be a penalty, and it's going to be another set of 6 here for Widnes. Just putting the pressure on themselves here. Whitehaven. And then what they're going to do, they're going to, you imagine they're just obviously going to take the tap from there and just roll on. Referee Kevin Moore tells the Whitehaven defence, make sure you are back on your line. It's going to be Liam Bent to fetch it forward. Bailey evokes that tackle. It's going to be another penalty. Is that going to be for the high shot? Or is it going to be for offside? We'll soon find out. The goal leading in with the shoulder. That's Whitehaven's 3 penalties in sort of the last 6 minutes. Maybe even not a lot long as well. 11 and a half to go here in Widnes. Tap. It's going to be Bent once again. Then it's going to be Bailey and Guy Graham. 5 metres out, Fozzard with the double pump, then finds Johnson, then comes across to Wild. Wild's going to be taken down, he's a metre out. Fozzard's in there at dummy half. Whitehaven need to be alive to that scoot. He's not as close as last time, however. He's Fozzard. Going to come across then to Gilmore in the middle now. Offloads to Bent. Bent's near though. There's a gap there which was soon shut by the Whitehaven defence. Widnes knocking on the door once again. They're a metre out. Fozzard going to come right into the hands of Gilmore. Out the back to Lyons. Lyons then has to step inside. Ryan King involved in that tackle alongside Owen McCarron. Whitehaven's defence needs to hold strong here. Fozzard then now finds Gilmore. Gilmore with a little kick. Hannigan has to go back. He's going to try and get over, but it's going to be another goal line drop out here. Forced by the Widnes Vikings. It's back to back sets here for this Widnes Vikings side. Whitehaven holding strong, but can they continue to keep that door shut?
Well, they're going to have to do, aren't they? You know, the actual endeavour and the effort that Whitehaven's putting in here against an outstanding team. Let's not forget what Widnes have done all year, you know, with their attack, and they're giving absolutely everything defensively. You know, they're under the pump. Widnes are chucking numbers at them. You've got Gilmore, you've got Owens, who are constantly putting pressure on them. But will they crack?
Liam Kirk back out there now, so starting props back out there for both of this Widnes side. Kirk's taken down 32 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Fozzard's going to scoot. Gets away from Bailey, gets away from Worthington. Can't get away, he's going to get away from McCarron. But then taken down by Bailey. Worthington 15 metres out. Dan Money now. Back within 5 metres of Widnes. Whitehaven's goal line defence needs to be on point here. Fozzard. It's going to go down the left hand side. It's Wild. It's Wild. Has he got over to Sam Wild? Has he got over? Has he held up? The touch judge comes back. Sam Wild still waiting for the decision. He stepped back. Held up. Held up. Held up. He's held up. The man in front of us thinks it's a 4 point. He's held up. He'd initially stepped back at Kevin Moore to give the 4 point. It looked like he'd given the 4 pointer, but he's held up.
What an effort. What an effort to hold him up there, Jordan.
10 metres out, Fozzard comes in the middle to Johnston, now to Gilmore, then to Joe Lyons, Lyons out the back to Owens. Owens is going to be pulled down, he's a metre short now, it is the 5 and last, Nisbet in there at dummy half. Comes across then to Gilmore, then ball's hitting the floor, Will Evans dives on it, just what Whitehaven needed. They just need to try and clear the lines now, and the Welsh internationals wrapped up 15 metres away. Fantastic defence from Whitehaven.
Brilliant there. That man Will Evans again, as soon as I think it was Owens had got that ball, they rushed off the 10. Evans again, they're making 10-15 metres as well from these next carries. What immense character this Whitehaven team showing.
Jake Mason now with ball in hand, just needs to be simple rugby from Whitehaven, just clear the lines, then if you get close, yeah, go for the 1 pointer.
Kick it deep and chase her, get him in the corners.
Jamie Doran in there at dummy half, then comes across to Curtis Tia just looks to come back inside, Lloyd and Lyons, and then Dan Murray affecting his tackle. It's the 5 and last. The Whitehaven need to try and find touch here. Jamie Doran could look to kick from dummy half, he's not, it's going to come to Ryan King. King's going to put it high, McCarran on the chase, but Widnes are going to come from 11 metres here through Mike Butt then just runs it forward. McCarran completes a tackle alongside Hugh Worthington. Lyons is going to be in there at dummy half. Widnes looking tired, Whitehaven looking tired. Dixon now shapes turn pass but runs it forward instead. Corkill and Guy Grabe involved there, and it's Lachlan Hannigan that gets involved as well. Widnes calling for the 6 again, but Dixon is the man that's judged to have been holding Corkill down, not the other way around. Owens is wrapped up, Bailey and Grabe involved. Sir Jordan Johnston now. Lachlan Hannigan gets involved in the defence. Brett Bailey as well, just on halfway. Fozzard comes across then to Gilmore, back inside then to Jack Owens, gets the offload away into the hands of Jordan Johnston. Greg Graham takes him down. It's the 5 and last. They're 38 away from the Whitehaven line here. It's the furthest they've been away, ending a set for seems absolutely ages. Gilmore with a little chip over the top. Is it going to bounce kindly? It does. Gets the pass away to Wild, goes across the edge. Edge is then going to be taken down. Oh, what a game of Championship Rugby League this is once again. We see this week in, week out, and it's another action-packed 73 minutes so far. Widnes with a little chip over the top. Whitehaven able to hold on just.
Taylor to half, but you're exhausted, Jordan, aren't you? Do you want to drink of water? It's a tailor to half backs. Jamie Doran and Tom Gilmore have absolutely been superb today with the kicking games and the little strike plays. But it'll now come down to character. I think there's 8 minutes left. Whitehaven again just defending. It was Gebbe just stopping that Widnes team from scoring. And it's a massive set for this Whitehaven team now.
6 minutes 10 on the scoreboard. Dean Gebbe now looking to fetch his ball forward. Can the Papua New Guinean? That wasn't needed. Ball's hit the floor. It's gone backwards. Thankfully collected by Brett Bailey. I understand why Gebbe's looking to do it. There was broken line there, but it's not needed when you're 6 points in front with 6 to go. Doran in there at dummy half. Graham comes across to Guy Graham. That's what's needed. Simple up the jumper rugby. It is the 5 and last. Doran's in there. Going to look to go right into Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put it high. It's going to be Will Evans on the chase. He's looking to get there, but it's Jack Owens that collects high. Can they try and put him over the touchline? They're trying to do so. Ball's dropped by Jack Owens. Lachlan Hannigan's got this in hand. Whitehaven now have a fresh set of 6. They're 7 metres out. Can Whitehaven wrap this game up? When was the last time they had the ball down here? Oh, it's an incorrect play of the ball. Oh, guilty of incorrectly playing the ball there. Just a little fumble from Lachlan Hannigan.
They're still in the position though, aren't they? Still in the position. Exactly where they want Widnes, 10 metres from their own line.
You mentioned it, James Newton's getting ready to come back on.
That's a great call from Jonty. Get him back on.
But it's going to have to be in the next attacking set for Whitehaven. McCarran fetches involved in that tackle alongside Jamie Doran. It's Joe Edge, 18 away from his own line. Fozzard's in there at dummy half, then comes across to Joe Lyons. Lyons then comes across to Owens. Fantastic man and ball tackle, and Curtis Tia, that's been lost, it's been stripped. It's got to be just a knock on because it was a one-on-one tackle. I still understand why Curtis Tia's gone for it, I really do, and if it come off it would have been all she wrote, because Tia should have been and would have been in, but it's going to be a scrum down, head and feed here. 4.5 left on the scoreboard. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online.
It's got to be a little bit careful for Dixon. Kick from the scrum. We had a Craig Calvert, didn't we, a few years ago like that, and it was that was a cry what I remember I always got. Kick for Calvert, I know they do that for Dixon as well, so they've got to be aware of that.
They're looking to do it. It's actually got to be Dixon with ball in hand from the scrum. He's nearly through there, he's Dixon, but he's pulled down by Rio Corkill and Lachlan Hannigan. Fozzard's in there at dummy half. Going to come across then to Jordan Johnson. Then it comes across to Liam Kirk. Kirk's then going to find the floor. 38 away from his own line, 12 short of halfway. Jordan Johnston comes across then to Dan Murray. Murray was nearly through there. Pulled down on halfway. Quick play of the ball. No mark is in tow. Fozzard makes 20 metres. Still gets away. Guy Graham's injured. He's able to get up, but it's Lloyd with ball in hand. Widnes 28 metres out from the Whitehaven line. Lisbeth in there at dummy half. Lyons, Johnston comes across to Gilmore, gets out the edge. Job Edge is there, then comes across to Dixon. Dixon looks to get back inside. Kieran Dixon, Mason's there, McCarran's there. 5 metres out. Is it going to be a penalty? What are we giving here? I think it's going to be a penalty, is it? I'm just waiting to see what for, but Widnes are going to have a fresh set of 6. There's 3 minutes left on the clock. I'm still not sure what it's for, Steve, but the penalty's being given.
No, they've got to keep tight here, Jordan. I mean, we don't want them to score anyway, but if they do score, it's got to be out wide. Yes, all comes down to this. 2 minutes to go, all comes down to this set.
Comes across then, couple of pairs of hands to Liam Kirk. Kirk's going to be brought down, he's a metre short. Fozzard's in there at dummy half. He can't be allowed to dive over. Goes left, into the hands of Johnston. Comes across then to Gilmore. Gilmore comes back inside to Jack Owens. He's over on that left-hand side. It's Jack Owens. Widnes reduced the deficit. It's Widnes 26, Whitehaven 28. And it's all going to come down to the boot of Tom Gilmore. Oh, Whitehaven don't deserve that. Widnes have been on top, but they've been fantastic. And Whitehaven players are down on their haunches. James Newton still wasn't able to get out there, but it's all going to come down to the boot of Tom Gilmore. It's less than 2 minutes to go now, and Whitehaven going to come away with a point. Are they going to come away with 2? Are they going to come away with nothing? We still don't know here in Widnes.
Wow, you mentioned it, didn't you? I think it was Jack Owens there now. It was a set piece. Widnes set up on a right post for a right to left side shift, and it was a combination of both half backs. It was a little decoy from the back row, and Jack Owens, as he does all the time, strides straight through. So it's all on this.
Tom Gilmore is going to come at it right footed, 15 metres out. Has he added it on? He has. We make it 90 seconds to go here in Widnes. It's Widnes Vikings 28. It's Whitehaven 28. And to be fair, you can see what that means. You can see what effort Whitehaven's put in, because the Widnes fans down below us are celebrating it like it's 2 points, Steve McCormack.
Yeah, well, it probably is. They've got to be careful here again, though, Whitehaven. You know, they will look to get another score on the board, whether it's through the middle, flooding through the middle, or going wide. So a big set, defensive set from Whitehaven.
Mason kicks it deep. Scoreboard says 50 seconds to go, but collects it. Then comes across then to Dan Murray. Do they go for the power play to Widnes? Do they try and get the 2? Do they settle for the 1? There's only one side taking points off them in this league campaign, Featherstone, a few weeks ago. Mike Butt now going to be taken down. He's 25 away. King in there at on the tackle. Fozzard goes left. Hours out the back. Gilmore. Widnes are going for it here. Scoreboard says 20 seconds to go. Fozzard's in there. Then comes across then to Kirk. Kirk just runs it forward. Try and keep them out of drop goal territory here, the Whitehaven. Fozzard going to come across then to Gilmore. Gilmore then comes across to Dixon. Dixon's going to try and use his speed. Joe Edge, that looks forward to me, but it's not going to be given. The scoreboard says 80 minutes. Within added time, it's 5 and last. Comes across then to Gilmore. Gilmore goes for the 1-pointer. Blocked by Dan Hindmarsh. That is the charge down. So it's okay because Hindmarsh collects. Could Whitehaven have an opportunity to knock over a 1-pointer? Romeo's in there at dummy half. Comes across to Mason. Mason's looking for the chip over the top. Joey Romeo could get there. Can he bounce? He's going to try and knock it forward. It's going to be knocked into touch. It's going to be a scrum down. I make time up. The scoreboard says time up. How long is left here in Widnes? It's going to be a penalty. Why? How? Joey Romeo pinned for offside maybe? I'm not too sure. Widnes Ben seemed to think there's a minute to go.
Might be one play in a drop kick here.
Oh no, Whitehaven do not deserve this if this goes in there, right in their favour. You can hear the crowd. Joe Edge takes the tap. Is this going to be heartbreak for Whitehaven? Edge wrapped up, Fozzard in there at dummy half. Are they going to go early? They're not. Murray's in there. They're trying to get it to central. Gilmore's hanging back. He's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. Whitehaven has saved at least. Steve McCormack, what a game of rugby league this is. Widnes 28, Whitehaven 28.
Oh, it's deserved, isn't it? You know, I try and be a neutral if I possibly can be in these situations, especially when it's two of me old clubs. But Whitehaven, what a performance! I've not seen Whitehaven perform like this for a long time.
Hooter, is that the Hooter? Is that the Hooter? I think Whitehaven's going to have one play here. Whitehaven are going to have one play. What do? Do they take the draw? It's held out at the back. Whoever then brings it forward. That definitely sounded like the Hooter behind us, didn't it?
It was a broken Hooter if it was, wasn't it?
Newton's in there at dummy half. Comes across to a Dean Gebby. Gebby's going to try and get through there. The Hooter sounds. Whitehaven earn a draw. Widnes earn a draw. That'll feel like a victory for Widnes when they were 12 points behind, but tries from Fozzard and then a late try from Jack Owens, which was his 100th career try, means that they've saved a point. Widnes lose drop points for just the second time this season. It's Widnes Vikings 28, it's Whitehaven 28, and what a game of rugby league football, Steve McCormack.
Yeah, I'm going to flip that round what you just said there, Jordan. I feel as though that's like a Whitehaven win, that. You know, I know there was 12 points in front, and I know there weren't too long left, but what we have just seen from that Whitehaven team, I've not seen that for a long time. You know, and I don't watch them every week, so you know, but they showed the amount of effort and determination they've put in against a top class Widnes team away from home in this heat, struggling with the bench. I think this has been a sensational performance from Whitehaven, and Jonty and his Whitehaven team and all the Whitehaven supporters who's here today can go home really proud of the town and their team.